There's someone living there?
Didn't quite look.
We're live? All right, we are live. All right, time is 6:03. This meeting of the Fern Bluff Municipal Utility District of Directors has come to order. Roll call of directors. All directors are present and accounted for. This time, let's do the Pledge of Allegiance. Director Stemko, would you like to lead us?
Yes, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Director Stemko. Let's do citizens communications. It's next on the agenda. Mr. Mario Villarreal.
Yeah, I'd like to say a couple of words. First off, I want to thank Jamie, first off, for doing a wonderful job on the Greenbelt. You probably don't know what's been going on there, but there's been a group going on the Greenbelt, and they started getting bigger and bigger, playing baseball tournaments pretty much, and they were really good. They were knocking it out of the park, like way out and stuff, and then it got crazy, and they started cookouts and parties, and I was taking pictures of this, put a rope around where the home run line was, which is right by my house and my neighbor's house. I'm going, well, right. Anyway, long story short, I had talked to Mark. Mark said, just by Janie, and showed Janie some pictures and stuff, and they were trashing the area pretty bad, really bad. And I found out later, a couple of your neighbor that moved in, walked their dog always there and said, oh, it looked like vomit and stuff. And I think it was when they threw over like some old soup that they hadn't finished or something. Anyway, it was a mess. Janie, I was like on my porch and I went, they're starting earlier than normal because they started at like normally at 4 or 5. They started at 3. And when you showed up with the sheriff, they had a full-fledged tournament going on. I mean, you saw it, right? Yeah. I mean, you could say a few things, but anyway, I just wanted to express my gratitude to Janie and the board and just taking care of that issue. I really didn't know how to handle it. I kind of thought maybe that would be the way, but I talked to Mark, my neighbor, and found out how to do it. Now, the only thing that I think would make life easier for us would be to put a sign right on that backstop. Because I talked to them, first I went on a bike, I took pictures, and the guy came out, hey, what are you doing taking pictures? And I'm just making sure this is okay. Well, call police if you want. You got all, Anyway, I had to look for the sign that had all the rules. And you find it when you come in from
Harryman.
On the trail into Old Summer. Mine's right there, but right when you come in from the trail on the Round Rock Regional Trail, where it is there, that's the first time you see it. Other than that, I don't know where it is. Maybe on where the pavilion is. But this is by itself out there, and you can throw a party like they did several nights. So anyway, just wanted to say thanks, and all the neighbors are happy about it too. Because they went, hey, they ended up early last night. I went, I'm going to tell you about it. They're not out there tonight. Right. So thank you so much, Jamie. I really appreciate it. I was impressed. I mean, I had never heard a place go so quiet. I mean, they had music going on. All of a sudden, it went, ooh. I would love to have heard what you said. But any comments you want to have?
Well, I want to thank you and thank you for sending the pictures. And you are right. We have ordered more signs.
Really?
Yes, and your idea of putting them on the backstop.
All right.
Our guys, there will be there.
All right. Well, thank you. That's really all I got.
Right, thank you.
Great job, everybody who's involved or whatever. That's awesome.
You're welcome.
That's all I got.
Text me, call me anytime. All right.
You got it.
Just curious, were these folks from outside our district?
Yep.
Outside our country.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, so I got to tell you the story. Well, about 4 weeks ago, I was out there enjoying it, and a ball came back, and when he goes, yes, soy cubanos, because I speak Spanish and stuff. And I said, soy cubanos, okay. And so that's where they're from. They're a group of Cubans, and I mean, not that they're illegally here or anything like that. In fact, they drove pretty nice cars. So I told my neighbor, I said, okay, so either from the cartel or Cubanos, but if I'm Cubano, it's one or the other, because they're driving some nice stuff, man. Right, Janie? Did you notice it? Right.
Couple of Escalades.
Yeah, so I went, okay, and so I know there were, one guy was from Cuba, but that was it. And so they have a very tight social organization, and I understand a lot of them are coming from Florida. So they're really good people. I love them. In fact, when I walked our neighbor, Irene.
Wow.
I was gonna get Irene to talk about it.
Yeah, it was
Quite a party, huh?
Yeah.
I know. They were getting really
our
serious
deputy
about it.
was super, super good. He was, yeah, very responsive and very good.
I wish I could have heard it.
Yeah.
All right.
It was good.
Thank you.
I can't say that I monitor the cameras. We have one super good camera that I can at least see vehicles and such down at that field. So I monitor that on the weekends.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Very welcome.
That's all I got.
Anyone else for citizens communications? No? All right, let's jump in. I see our landscapers here. So Brian, take the podium and
All right.
give us the.
Oh, wait.
Thank you, Mario.
Thank you,
I'm
Mario.
gonna jump in here with parks because I think all of you got one or two emails from our residents regarding the Brightwater tree. So before we go there, I want to give you basically what's happened. Perfect. As y'all know, in 2023, the sister tree at the entrance to Brightwater Park cracked down the middle and was completely destroyed. The tree to the right was what everyone has kind of termed a climbing tree, as it had the big limbs that came down and touched the ground and everything. So this has been a kind of a series of events, but when we were there was one great big limb that came out the back that was laying on one of the benches at the park and was also well into the playscape area. Kind of left it alone. I'll be perfectly frank, I was like freaked out because the other tree crashed and burned. So that tree, we had taken a couple of limbs down that cracked after the ice storm, but did minimal to that tree. When it came time to start planning for our playscape renovations, you know, their timing is everything, and any oak trees we should not ever trim them in the spring up until the hot part of the summer, okay? So as we're looking into 2024, we know we need to start doing some tree trimming now in preparation for 2025. Anyway, so talked with our landscaper, we wound up dealing with two different arborists about that tree and about the big pecan trees down at Olson Meadows that are all over the playground area there. So the second group at Brightwater climbed a tree and found most of those big limbs that were laying on the ground were cracked at the top of the branches and cracked and a little bit removed from the trunks. That then became a huge safety issue for us. For any child that was climbing on those branches, it was just waiting to break. I'm sure y'all been there, y'all see how the kids climb, kids are down on the ground. So I had to make a judgment call based on two arborists saying, yep, this is fine to cut. Yeah, those branches that are on the ground could be taken. But then when we found the breakage up in the tree, it was a no-brainer. Those limbs had to come down. It dramatically changed the look of that tree, okay? Where it had all those squiggly branches down to the ground, those are all gone, and now it's just a big, majestic tree, if you will. So this weekend, social media went a little crazy about the tree, and I don't normally respond on social media, but it was very shocking to some of our residents, and I don't blame them. This is my 37th year in the district, and so I shed a few tears over it, but I'm just saying the safety of the kids in one of our parks has to be our paramount prerogative,
Priority.
objective,
Yeah.
whatever you could say.
Priority ones.
I'm sorry that it happened that way. I'm sorry you all got the emails. I think Mark has responded to 2 of them, and let them know that the general manager is going to respond. I want to assure you, our biggest, other than the safety of the kids, we want to do everything we can do to save that tree. I mean, it is. It's a fabulous tree. But I can't guarantee you that it has not been irreparably damaged from that ice storm. Brian can tell you, we are still finding trees. We have one here at the center. We've got one at the back that just was removed. We'll probably keep seeing this damage for the next couple of years, because the tree tries to heal itself and tries to, maintain, and then within a year or two, it's very, very obvious that tree is not going to make it. Sometimes they'll just completely turn leaves and that kind of thing.
When you start seeing the bark peel off, that the cells right there are damaged. And if it's at the end of a limb, you can do some pruning. When it's back towards the base of the tree, that's kind of a different deal.
Doesn't it make it vulnerable to disease and infestation also?
Absolutely, absolutely.
I mean, it is literally to preserve the tree if you can.
That is exactly right. And tree experts, they all have opinions if you go and do the research out there. And experts are a little bit like noses. Everybody has an opinion, if you will. And some will say, I saw that great. Some will say, leave the branches on the ground. It helps stabilize the tree. Other experts say that's just not true. Those limbs on the ground are nothing more than a magnet for fungus and for that type of thing. So we have to make our best judgment when these things occur. And I just want the board to know I will always yield to safety. If it's a tree out in the middle of a green belt, we're not going to have, kids every weekend climbing it. When it's in one of our park propers, that becomes a real safety issue. And I'm sorry. I went over, I told the tree, I'm very sorry, but we're going to take good care of you. So that's what the emails were about this weekend. I'm sorry, Brian, and you go ahead.
Totally fine. So we are prepping for fall right now. Still a little hot, but we're starting to see a break in the temperatures. And so we've started trimming all of our perennials and cutting back all of our plants. We've still got a couple of parks, but here at the community center, veterans, both Cheatham Parks, Olson Meadows, I went through with the crew and we've trimmed all the plants back there. And I've also gone behind and put down fertilizer in those gardens so we can prep for our fall bloom cycle. That's been a good part of what the crew's been doing in the parks and also here. Before I see you next, we will do our pre-emergence in the turf. All irrigated areas will get their fall pre-emergent fertilizer. That should happen in the next couple weeks. It's always weather dependent. Last week it was 98. The week before that it was low 90s. So we're progressing into fall, but I think in the next couple weeks you'll have your pre-emergent, and I will have finished all the fertilizers in the bed, and we'll get the turf fertilized. So, and that'll complete the year as far as chemicals go. Green belts. We're tackling the blue stem right now. The native blue stems. I have it in my yard. I don't have irrigation or anything in my yard. My yard is basically like your green belt, and I think my blue stem's been growing a foot every week. So we're trying to stay on top of that. Today, the guys, I think they're going to finish Oakbrook. They're actually still out there right now, finishing up Oakbrook Greenbelt. Then we're going to move to Brightwater Greenbelt. That's the next Greenbelt we'll be mowing for you guys. We did our irrigation checks on Saturday, and I have no major repairs to report, but I'll be getting with Janie and putting together a plan to get those issues taken care of.
Do you need a little more irrigation on the back patio?
In the pots?
No, just the big bed that's at the back. Some of the begonias are looking a little
It's time for them to,
dry.
yeah, it's their time to kind of,
Fizzle out.
they just have a shorter shelf life being an annual, but I'll look into the water. It's watering 3 days a week back there. And it's drip.
It's been hot. And those leopard plants are even looking.
Yeah.
It's this time of year.
Well, and I'm going to look at the irrigation check sheets. Lucio might have reported something there. I just haven't had a chance to look at them. We just did them on Saturday, but I'll take a look at those tomorrow. And if nothing else, increase the watering back there. But you guys you'll get a whole new round of annuals up here a little later. I'm not going to touch them right now. They're in full bloom out in the front. But yeah, those begonias were planted in spring. They've been in the ground for 7 months. For an annual, that's a good long life for them. But yeah, I'll look into that too. Other than that, I can answer any questions you guys might have. Just not about trees.
Well, all of 2023 was nothing but trees.
We can
Every
branch
month.
out from there.
Oh, really? There you go.
Yeah, as far as the trees go though, we had that initial like, oh my God, all these branches are broken. And we came out and fixed those immediately, but we're still seeing the aftermath of that. And it's happening. You'll see the bark just start to peel out. This tree in the back that we removed, I guess that was probably like 2 or 3 months ago. It was all around the base and it was alive. And then it just slowly declined. And when I went over there and checked it out, that bark it's losing all its bark at the base of the tree. I mean, there's nothing you're going to do about that. If it's happening on smaller branches, you can selectively prune that. That doesn't mean other areas of the tree weren't damaged and just taking longer to show that. And that's kind of what went on there at the park. But I didn't climb in the tree, so I don't know, but I can tell you that's what happened back there.
All of those pictures right after I swung on 2023.
Mm-hmm.
In a way, I'd forgotten how bad it was. You know, all of the crepe myrtles on the ground. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brightwater, the center median of Brightwater still hasn't recovered. Those trees look awful.
So I'm just maybe 300 feet from there or so, maybe 400 feet. We lost half of the shade cover and several trees that are just, we had a beautiful tree
Mhm.
cover and it's just horrible, the damage that was done.
Yeah.
It was. It was 23. Yeah. We're not quite 2 years into it yet. 18 months.
Just
Well, a little longer.
curious about your pre-emergence you put down. You put down a liquid or a granular?
Granular.
Granular for both leafy and grassy?
Well, the grassy weeds we'll spray. We'll spray the grassy
Spray 'em
weeds,
down.
but granular.
And what do you put down?
What product? It's a Lesco product.
Okay.
I get from Site One. It's in Pflugerville. They've got locations in Austin as well, but the one in Pflugerville is about a mile from our shop, so we typically shop there.
Yeah, I've used less no fertilizer before.
Yeah, it's good.
Thanks, Brian.
Anybody.
He's open for
Going
questions.
twice.
There you go.
Well, thanks for coming, Brian.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you,
Appreciate it.
guys. Y'all met Travis.
Hi,
No,
Travis.
hi, Travis.
Partner.
Partner. There you go.
Take care.
Thanks so much.
Take care, guys.
All right. So while we're on the parks and we don't need Brian, I got a question for
Yes.
you. The ponds in Oak Brook are looking pretty ratty with just muck covering them again. So I don't know if anybody's complained about it yet, but I figured I'd give you a heads up.
They haven't, you know, those ponds do their kind of turn twice a year.
Mhm.
So I think that's what's happening over there. It's, I would say give it till the end of October, maybe sooner, but this is just naturally what it does. And
Mhm.
a lot of it has to do with the chemicals that are coming in, and then it has to do with the temperature.
I just, like I said, I just noticed that they are looking pretty,
Pretty awful. We
Yeah.
need a good hard rain.
gamey. I don't know,
Yeah,
they,
we
that-
really-
they,
we need a-
they're not smelly.
It's been a while since we've had a good hard rain.
Yeah,
and-
well, that's
And
true.
that'll help some, but part of it, that's.
Okay, like I said, I just wanted to
they-
bring
they-
it to your
It's
attention.
usually like, what, April, May in there, everybody has put down all of the fertilizer.
And then it gets the
And we have
algae,
algae bloom.
yeah.
And nitrogen runoff.
And now it's literally in the fall, it's like it turns.
I mean, it doesn't look like algae, it doesn't smell, but
No,
it's
it's-
definitely a film of some sort of floating stuff that covers about at least a third or more of the pond. So, all right, we'll see what happens towards the end of the month,
Yeah,
of next month.
it seems like it was September a couple of years ago, but our summers kind of are going a little farther into October, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
So it may just be a little bit later this year,
Extension, summer extension.
summer extension.
What do we call it up in the Northeast? It was Indian summer.
Indian summer. Well, and it didn't get hot this year until kind of later. We
It's
had
true.
a little more rain, so I think it's just kind of.
Okay, thank you for that.
All right, since we're doing parks, do we have anything on, any landscaping projects on the horizon or anything on the park renovations,
Are you gonna watch?
playground?
Yes, the park proposal for Cheatham Park, Big Cheatham, not the smaller one, but Big Cheatham is in the packet. It's on page 19.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that was something else. If y'all remember, last year, we did the first round of removals of the Bradford pear trees at Olson Meadows. And we wanted to do this in 2 phases, so everybody wasn't so shocked. So we did the last phase, and we are doing the second phase to get all of those Bradford pears out of Olson Meadows. They're at the end of their life, their branches, the limbs are crashing and burning, so we're gonna take them out. And we're not gonna plant as many trees, but we will plant some, replant with some nice hardwoods down there. So this is our second.
When precisely were we planning to do that?
Huh?
When precisely were we planning to do that?
What do you mean, when?
Like
Yeah,
1
now.
week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks after you killed the tree in Whitewater Park? I'm just
Just looking straight over optics.
Could it wait a couple of weeks maybe to the?
They're already doing it. They're on it.
Okay.
Well, Olson Meadow is so big, I don't think too many people
Olson's
even
gonna
notice it.
No,
Maybe.
well, what happened before when we took them down, that one batch down that was at the other end where the baseball fields were, we did get a little bit of pushback as to why we were doing it. Okay, we explained why. There was one more big Bradford pear. I guess this was 2 years ago. Big Bradford pear at the end of Pagosa Springs
Mhm.
that the nearby residents begged us to please don't take that out. Ice storm right down the middle.
So it's gone anyway.
Gone anyway.
Hey. You left it for as long as you could.
There it is.
Optics.
So, yeah,
Exactly.
No good deed ever goes unpunished.
burn.
All right, so the,
Oh, Corliss. Yeah, it's on page
Whirlix,
19.
on page 19.
The,
So we did the other park, we paid for that in the last fiscal year, right?
in this fiscal year, we did it in this fiscal year, and we only need to put a 60% deposit down.
On this one.
And we have plenty of funds in our budget for this year to go ahead and do that. If you look on page 22, you'll see the proposed park.
quite a long list of base bid excludes on this thing.
I'm sorry.
Quite a mix of what?
A long list of what they're excluding
So on
in the
page-
base bid.
Page 20 is what Mark is looking
Well,
at.
I'm looking at 22 on my system, so I'm
Oh.
always a couple of pages.
Just, no, it's 20 in the paper packet.
20
Yeah.
is back.
20, yeah.
This is the same thing. It's like, you know,
So this is
they're
pretty,
not gonna do the tree trimming. They're gonna,
right.
their install will just do the install. The good thing is, we have staff, so if there's anything that happens, right before, during installation, in most cases, we can respond.
Right.
Um,
And I assume we've got restrooms out there, so we don't need to put a latrine on site.
At Brightwater,
Yeah.
no, Cheatham, no, Cheatham does not
Oh,
have.
it doesn't have one.
Mm-mm.
Okay,
No, it's just a playground area.
okay. I guess I should know that.
All right, so we get a discount for using buy board. And that takes
Yeah,
care of
buy
our
board
bidding
is-
rules too. We're in compliance with all state of Texas billing rules by using buy board.
That's right, and then you'll see the additional discount that Warlux is giving us of $2,750.
Okay.
I just wanted to comment that the pop of color it's new and fresh, yet it respects the traditional colors of Fern Bluff. And it's going to be new and exciting with honoring the tradition. And that blue, it's if you're a kid, it's like, it's the sky.
Agreed.
Was that the umbrella or that you're talking about?
Shade cover.
The shade,
Mhm.
yeah. Now, does that extend across the whole thing? Or
No,
is
it's
this,
just on the main place, the
Okay.
main playscape.
so it's just like where it shows here?
That's right.
It's pretty close to
That's
scale.
pretty close to exactly what it looks
Is
like.
that a hardcover or is it fabric?
It's fabric. It's not
like a-
canvas.
It's like a plastic weave kind of.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Similar if they have like a school or
That's right.
anywhere, it's everywhere.
Are those hard to tear up? Or are they pretty thick?
They're fairly durable. That doesn't mean that they won't need maintenance. They won't need to be. They'll need to be replaced far more than the equipment will need to be replaced.
Okay.
They
But,
do have a good lifespan
They
though.
have a really good lifespan. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, unless we get, a hailstorm again, I don't know how it will manage a hailstorm.
Yeah, I could punch through if
That's
it's
exactly
big
right.
enough chunks, I guess. Yeah.
The one at the Stone Canyon OA pool is 20 years old.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the one at the Oak Brook pool is
And-
probably older.
It has maybe
Has a
one or
big
two
switch.
slits in
It-
it.
it
And
has-
I'm,
It has a couple tears where a kid jumped up and grabbed, maybe they
Mm.
didn't piggyback,
yeah,
and fingers went through, but it hasn't spread.
yeah,
And that happened in like 2007.
yeah.
I hate to say this out here in the meeting, but it was probably more vandalism.
Well,
I
that's
didn't
actually what
wanna
I was
say
wondering
that.
about.
I hope it's high enough that there's not.
I hope so too. I mean, I
Kids
think
are
they really
creative,
have to
yeah.
climb to get there.
Yeah, we'll address it if it happens. You know.
I'll reposition our cameras.
There
Yeah,
you go.
that could be part of what we do.
Start using AI.
Cameras and water cannons take care of the problem.
Oh, yeah.
So is there anything we need to do on this one now? Do we have to approve a
If
deposit
y'all
or?
just approve it, then we can go ahead and get it ordered.
Yeah. I'll just need a
That is
motion.
what we're working on, is as we get the park plan and the cost and everything to the board, we're just trying to get as many of these approved over the next several months. That way we get on their construction schedule for 2025.
Do I have a motion to approve the Warlux proposal dated September 18th?
So moved.
I'll second.
All right, motion by Director Horton, second by Director Smith to approve the Warlux motion dated September 18th, 2024. Any further discussion? Looks like a nice design, I'll say that. So,
Gonna be fun.
hearing no other comments, all in favor? Motion carries 5-0. All right,
Easy peasy.
let's make it happen.
Excellent, thanks. We
Is that
are
it for
still-
parks?
Let me
More
kind of tell
parks?
you where we are. We're still finalizing Fern Bluff. I should have that very, very soon.
That'll be next.
And it'll either be Fern Bluff or Brightwater. We're just trying to figure out a little bit of configuration at Brightwater. Olson is gonna be last.
It's going to be what?
Last.
Yeah.
Very nice.
But I think we're getting close. Now that we've got the trees trimmed back, I think we can proceed on with what we want to do. One of the big questions was, are we going to put the equipment towards the back? Or are we gonna bring it towards the front? Now with the trees cut and the berms that are in the back, I think that the best is to bring it forward. We already have that one little space that we used to have the horses there. So we may be able to do that up under the tree a little bit. So they're working on it right now. So that's gonna be all of our big parks. That will be Olson, Brightwater, Cheatham. Oh, Friendly Oaks may be best. The Global Motion, I've got it. So Friendly may be next.
Sure.
Yeah. And then we'll just, construction as we go along 2025. It may run into 2026, but,
That's okay.
sooner we get them ordered, we've got the price locked in, and then we can get on the construction schedule.
I think that moving it forward is better because that still leaves that area back for kids with imaginations to explore and do what they want to do.
I agree. Well, we've got those berms back there that would really cause an issue with a couple of those berms that are there. I just think it makes it better.
Yeah.
To move it up front if we can manage with that huge pecan tree right there.
Plus it's closer to the parking lot.
True. Absolutely true.
I've
Plus
seen
for the deputies to keep an eye.
that too. Yeah, but also do we have a camera facing that, or are we going to add one? I was going to say,
We're gonna
because
add one more camera at Olson if we can.
sometimes
Just kidding. We've gotten good at that. so.
Another
Yeah.
camera.
You got two
No
in the
big
truck. Where do you want them?
every once in a while I see the parents sitting in the car watching the kids. It's like, well, I mean,
Wow.
it's hot.
Oh,
Every once in a while, and they're the older kids, not the really young
oh,
ones.
okay.
So
Yeah.
that'll get them closer to their parents too.
Their
Or-
margarita
or the
machine.
the air conditioning. Well, that was the folks on the other end by the baseball.
Well, in Olson too, years ago, that one huge pecan tree that's more to the front of the park, it's just nothing but a mud pit right there. It gets no shade up underneath there. And we went in and we kind of put that patio and that picnic table that was there,
Mhm.
put it there so the parents could be closer. There's still this huge mud pit. So Brian and his group are looking at it like, what can we do there? We love the tree. We want to keep the tree, but it's just mud. And then they come off the playground. They're heading up to the pavilion, and they're right through that mud. We're looking at some ground cover. We're trying to come up with some solutions. There's a whole root system with the tree, and it's just a real challenge right there. So we're going to try to, as we do this, try to fix that issue as well.
Mhm.
Raising that canopy is going to help a little bit, but I don't think it's going to help very much.
We just put a trail in there with, like stone or something just between the playground and the pavilion so they have a place to walk.
Well, we thought about gravel, but it's kind of sloped there. And then we thought about like the river walk that we have up here. That's just kind of an invitation for kids to throw rocks.
Right.
That's a
So-
shame.
Well, we
That's
got
a great
we
idea.
need to build a
Yeah.
bridge.
Yeah, we're gonna really look into maybe a ground cover up there. I mean, I've got some Asian jasmine at my house, and it'll take.
It takes a little while though.
It takes a while for it to grow, and kids walk in it, and it doesn't kill it. You just kind of get. But I don't know. We're trying to find a solution down there.
I love that idea though, and maybe there's like some kind of protection, like some kind of that thing you can put over it, so the
net.
kids leave it alone. Could they walk on it and not?
Like a
I'm
net.
thinking like of a raised, woven something that's really strong, that's
Artificial
not
turf.
I don't know.
expensive. That would
Every
let it
time you
grow.
put something like that, encourages those few kids to walk on it. I mean, I can tell you, my grandson would come walk on it. He's like, oh, that's cool. You know, I don't know. It's a good idea. We
But,
can
yeah.
try to figure it out. We'll go down there and look at it.
All right.
That's all I got.
That's it for parks?
Yeah.
Okay. Consent agenda, do we have anything that needs to be removed from the consent agenda? Do I have a
Did
motion
we
to-
ever get the minutes from the last meeting?
No, sir, you did not. I promise those will be caught up next month.
Okay.
My scribe is still learning how to type, and I think she's got about 10 more years at best.
Your scribe, you mean your daughter?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, smart parents,
Yeah,
she'll
good
do
one.
it in 5.
They'll do it.
Well, I mean, do we need to add that or
No, I'll put in the minutes that,
into,
I'll put in these minutes that the minutes from the last meeting were excluded from your consent agenda
Okay.
motion.
all right.
Yeah.
then
Oh, yeah. I put in there that we didn't have them. We'll get them next month.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and make that motion to approve the consent agenda,
Minus any minutes?
minus the minutes from last meeting, which will be coming will be available at the next meeting.
Second,
All right, motion by Director Smith, second by Director Stemko to approve the consent agenda. All in favor?
I got it.
Motion carries 5-0. Thank you, Mark. General manager report and operations report. What do we got?
My report is on page 24. Kind of gone through everything with the parks, etc. On page 27, there is a proposal for a new operations vehicle that I would like for the board to consider tonight. You'll see the three prices.
I noticed there was not a spec sheet for
Chevy
the first one,
Ranger.
for the Colorado.
what about it?
There was not a spec sheet for it.
There's no details on it.
Yeah, my apologies on that. I didn't get one in there. They're very much similar to the Ford 4x4, crew
Okay.
cab. So
Well, does the operations team have a preference? Is that the bold one, or do you have a preference? I mean,
yeah, in this case, the low bid seems to be perfectly acceptable. I mean, we do have our existing fleet is 2 Chevys and the Nissan. The Nissan's the one we're looking to replace. So standardizing with Chevrolet just seems like a common sense idea.
and you've had good luck with the performance and the maintenance on the Chevys.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And is the Colorado considered a small truck? Because that's what my grandson drives in. It's
Yeah.
not small.
It's smaller than the
Smaller than the Sierra.
yeah.
But a Ford Ranger and a Frontier are smaller, right? Or not?
Nowadays, I mean, they're all
They're all
very
this-
similar.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, body small trucks.
Frontiers are bigger than they used to be.
Yeah,
The Rangers they've kept small. And I'm
yeah.
assuming they've done the same with the Colorados.
In fact, there's a Colorado parked outside,
I don't
so
know.
it's not huge. And it's not tiny either. So
And it's four-wheel drive, which is what you need.
Mhm.
Where did we buy the Silverado from Don Hewlett also?
yes,
Okay, so we've got a history with them, first off.
we do.
What kind of warranty does the Colorado come with?
The standard GM,
Is it standard 3-year at 36?
3 or 36,000. So, and I will say on this bid sheet, the first 2 are buy board pricing. Nissan for some reason does not have fleet buy board, anything like that. So that's basically here's the best we got.
So it's basically a list price or whatever they call it.
Yes, sir.
Considering the reason why we are replacing the current truck, have we thought about the idea of purchasing an extended warranty as well?
I hadn't considered it.
Would that be something that it would be
As a rule-
less than 25,000. And if we added that to the motion, could we do it something where we say, okay, make the approval for the Colorado at 35081 with the possibility of adding an
A
extended
provision.
warranty
A provision for adding an extended
with a
warranty.
provision for adding the extended.
Yeah.
Not sure if they do
I know
that
my
for fleet
mother-in-law
vehicles.
swears by extended warranties,
By what?
I can just say in most
extended
cases with
warranties.
governments, we don't really do extended warranties, okay? And an extended warranty, as an example, with our Frontier, really wouldn't have done us any good because that truck is
12 years old.
12 years old.
Well, no.
So we really didn't have issues with it the first, I guess, 7 or 8 years. So in that instance, we would be paying for something that we don't have. We've got very good insurance on our vehicles in case of damage or whatever. But that's just my opinion. That's my recommendation. I think I can probably agree with you. We don't normally get extended warranties.
I will just tell you, because I'm a car junkie, that Chevy is pretty good about letting you buy a warranty after the fact. So if you get to year 2 and 11 months, or to mile 35,000, and you feel like it's still going to be worth the district's expenditure, you can exercise that option after the fact. So it's just my layman
Interesting.
car salesman
Yeah.
advice there.
My understanding that CarMax has a pretty good extended warranty, and you don't have to buy the car from them.
They do, and they only sell used cars.
Right, but you don't have to buy a car from them to get the extended warranties. My brother had one on his Mercedes, and he said it was a lifesaver because it saved him a lot of money. But I don't know. I mean, that's an option too if you wanted to explore it. Anyway,
We'll do what the board wants.
so do you want to make a
So-
motion with a provision, or do you want to just make a motion? Or
Well, because we can come back and,
Mhm.
like Zach said, we can come back and add the warranty later. I would like to possibly look into that possibility. Because, I mean, yeah, the insurance will cover the outside, trees fall, stuff like
Mhm.
that. But, I mean, for the next 3 years, normally speaking, most new cars, other than minor things that sometimes happen, most new cars not going to have a whole lot of stuff happen in the first 3 years. But on, month 36, day 2, or 36,000 miles and 12, then it may than all things, because they don't quite make cars the same way they used to.
true.
So I will go ahead and make the motion for the Colorado 4x4 at $35,081.
I'll second that.
All right, motion by Director Barnes, seconded by Director Horton. Further comment from anyone else?
So you're not going to try and trade in the Nissan then?
We're gonna see if we can,
Sell it
which way
outright?
we get the best deal. Sell it outright or do a trade-in.
Okay, so you are going to trade,
They have offered a really nice trade-in.
today.
Just a quick reminder, y'all, if you do decide to sell it outright, we have to jump through the hoop of declaring it surplus property. And y'all do that by ordinance, or excuse me, by order. And that would be something y'all would need to act on, the board would need to act on.
Would they give
before
us
you
on
can actually
trade-in?
sell it.
Nissan offered 10,000.
Trading it in, believe it or not, you don't
It's
have to
easier.
jump through that hoop.
Yeah.
So just FYI.
We may be able to get as much as 10 for a trade-in.
You-
So we'll just try to figure it out.
Well, that's not
Well,
bad
Okay.
at all.
Huh?
It's not bad.
Yeah, that was a
For a
verbal quote
12-year-old
from,
truck,
Yeah,
Take
that's
up low
really not
mileage,
bad.
that
From-
helps
yeah.
in the
well,
training.
110,000 miles. It's not.
It's pretty well, pretty
11,
these days.
what, 11-year-old?
12 years old.
12
It's, well, I guess so. Normally it would be what, 12 a
150.
year,
Yeah.
145, 150.
I will say, as far as the extended warranty goes, not a fan, and since we've got the capability to self-insure, pitch those things to people, you can save money if something goes wrong. Well, we're big enough, we can self-insure with that kind of stuff. So I'm really not concerned about an extended warranty.
Yeah.
I know everyone has different
Okay.
views on
Yeah.
that.
But it doesn't hurt to do the research.
No, I agree with that. Wouldn't hurt to price it out and
Yeah.
see if it's
Yeah, at least
something
maybe
we'll bring back to us.
before,
We'll take the check and it's like, oh. How much?
Does anyone want to hear what AI has to say?
Uh-oh.
Oh, goodness.
No.
The Colorado and the Ranger. They're both rated 83. Performance, Ranger may be a better choice who want a powerful truck with latest technology and safety features, payload capacity, fuel efficiency. Colorado is better on comfort and towing. Utility, better for Ranger.
so what website does that quote from?
Ford.
It says
Ford.com,
No,
FordBuyers.com.
it's AI overview, and most of it seems to be based on what JD Power says.
Still like Chevy.
Oh, we need to
So
vote.
do y'all.
We need to vote. All in favor of the motion by Director Barnes, second by Director Smith. All right, motion carries 5-0. Go get us a new vehicle.
Shall. There shall be.
We have other stuff for operations. We've got,
I'm sorry, I missed it. Yes. Sorry.
Say that.
we have other operations stuff to cover tonight.
One more item. Just crazy guys just asking for some more money. So, question for the board. Back pre-COVID, we had some discussions about a metering system for Fern Bluff. Since then, I've done I don't know how much research on meters, meter radios, backbone system. I'm just everything meter reading related. As it stands now, we've got about 15% of our district with electronic meters, they're just radio ready to do AMI, which is the automated meter reading stuff. So the question I have for the board is, do we still have an appetite to move forward with automated meter reading? And that's, just kind of a question. If you do want to move forward, then we've got some plans that we'd like to present to the board to, move forward, not all in one fell swoop, but just like eating an elephant, one bite at a time. So, if the board does have an appetite to continue doing, meter reading automatically or automated, then
Before my time, would you have a packet or a PowerPoint or something that you could bring to us, share this time or bring to us next time? Kind of reflecting the potential savings and expenses and so forth. And, okay.
sure. In
Well, look,
fact, if
you
you
came
want to,
prepared.
I did.
No, look at you.
I did. So it's like, yes, no, maybe so.
Like you saw it coming.
It's the red shirt.
I think it's something residents would appreciate over the long term.
Well, yeah. I like the idea of you being able to notice a leak and be able to inform people in real time,
Mhm.
right?
Yes.
I like the idea of being able to, as a customer, to be able to view, which I still haven't,
And
like
that's
water
one of those,
usage
yeah.
in real time,
Mhm.
that we discussed several years ago.
Right.
So I think it's a good investment. Plus, we can reduce over time the amount of man hours we need to actually do the meter readings, right? Not that I'm big on getting rid of employees, but we repurpose them, right?
So,
Something more
Exactly. And in the grand scope of things, the meter reading itself is not a huge portion of it.
Mhm.
There, quite honestly, there is a pro to having somebody out there actually physically putting eyes on meters,
Right.
which is, if we do AMI or AMR, whatever, any automated system, we would have to do that we don't have to, but just out of
You probably want to spot check 'em.
superior performance kind of thing, that's something we would do. either quarterly or semi-annually.
Right, just
So,
a spot check to make sure
Mhm.
that the accuracy, that
Yes.
they're reading properly, et
Yes.
cetera. Yeah, I hear you. And plus, all of the meters out there are getting old anyway and gonna have to be replaced, right? So
exactly.
there's still gonna be an expense,
Correct.
right? It'd just be a little more to put in these automated meters, right?
So I gather there is somewhat of an appetite to keep looking at it. So the memo that we just passed around basically says, we do have 15% of our meters that are already electronic and, perfectly capable of accepting a radio to transmit its meter reads and flow and all this fun stuff. What we'd like to do today is propose putting in the backbone of the system, which is not actually going into the meter reading itself. It's just getting the radio, the gateway that would accept signals from radios. It's expensive, but the good thing, we're in a position where we don't have to do everything at once. Like I said, right now we've got meters going in the ground. We're replacing, and they have to be replaced anyway. So we're just kind of trying to use some foresight and trying to get the meters that are going to accept radios that over the years of research, the meters we're putting in is probably one of the best in the industry. It's a ultrasonic meter, so it's not, doesn't have any mechanical parts inside of it. So it's, over the research, one of the best meters out there. But yeah, what we're trying to do is actually get the backbone system, which in here I put in, it's a LoRa WAN. So it's a long range, low power system that not only will accept signals from the meter, the radios on the meter. We can actually add, if you're familiar with the term IoT, Internet of Things,
Yep.
there's sensors, you name it, you can add it. Light switches, pressure sensors, just all sorts of technology that we can add to that system. And with this gateway in there, we would own the system. So it would be independent of a Verizon, T-Mobile, or anything like that. So if their system goes down, we still have our system intact. So what we're asking for today is, right now what we're doing, we're swapping out all the meters at Oak Brook, the pump station. Has got its own pressure zone. So 181 meters, we're looking to get all of those meters replaced. This also includes the request for a master meter at the pump station, which when we go full scale would mimic what we're wanting to do at the pump station. We know what's being pumped out into the system, got 181 meters, should be net zero. So if there's a big discrepancy in there, then we know that maybe there's a leak, something that we need to follow. So like I said, it's not, not the whole system, no radios or anything. It's just, one step at a time. Let's get the infrastructure in and be ready for whenever, the board says, okay, let's go next step. We can do, bits at a time.
So the 181 meters you're talking about just now, so are those at the pump station or is that at the residences?
At the residences.
Okay.
So
they don't-
the pump station pumps into that one
okay.
zone.
So the figure to that, okay, and I get that. And that's what I thought you were talking about.
Yes, sir.
Sure. 181 meters would be a lot to have in.
Yeah, yeah.
Co-location. Right? So that's fine.
Mhm.
So what is the price delta between those and the traditional meters or with a non-monitored or non-radioed meter like you're talking about?
Probably nowadays, probably $30-$40 a piece.
Out of
Yeah,
so compared to so
the difference
just
between
pretend-
75
pretend-
and
pretend I don't know how much one of these meters cost
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
first place. Okay, so talking like $70 to $100.
roughly
So
it's probably 75 to 125
So
ish.
and there's your $30 to $50 delta.
Mhm.
So anywhere from 30 to 50%
Mhm.
per unit.
Approximately.
Per
Yes, sir.
unit.
Yep.
Hector, could you narrow, does it help you pinpoint where the leak is, or you just know it's within that system?
In this particular area, it won't tell you exactly where it is, but it'll say Oak Brook, pump, the pump station area or the pressure plane. there's something crazy going on right there. You need to go look. So at that point, we're out driving the streets trying to look. Once we go full meter system, then these meters will be able to send out a text, an email, and a phone call to the resident saying, you've got water going through your meter. You got a potential leak. And it'll also, in our daily reporting, saying, yeah, we got some meters over here that not reporting, they have a leak going through, pressure's gone crazy, or just the whole slew of
More
information that
But
we
that
would
has
have.
to be district-wide for that to,
No, at this point, like I said, we're just asking for the backbone of the system.
but I mean, if,
Infrastructure.
to get what you just said, for it to be pinpointed, like say specifically where it lets the resident
Yeah,
know.
it would have to be the combo meal.
Okay.
All three components of the hardware,
Okay,
which would be the meter, the radio, and the
okay.
gateway.
It's great to have an airplane,
Mhm.
but you need a field to land on.
Yeah.
Right, this is the field.
Yes. Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So,
Yep.
Yep. So, the other question I had was, so these radio meters, what drives radio? They have their own power source. Is it solar? Is it lithium battery?
It's a lithium battery. Right now, the meters that we're purchasing have their own power source. They're warranted for 20 years. Of course, after 12, 13, 14 years or whatever, they go prorated or whatever. But they've been pretty good. If we get a meter go bad, they'll replace it.
So the battery never has to be replaced?
No, it'll
How do you know when you have a low battery? Does it tell you?
it'll
get
tell
a
you.
signal, just like your
Low
iPhone.
battery. It's like, hey,
I mean, does it tell you that today? You
no,
have
because
backup.
we don't have
Yeah.
the system
Backup.
connected.
So
So,
if the one in my house,
Mhm.
the battery dies, then you won't know it until you
Until-
stop getting readings from it.
until next meter. Well, if
The next
right
meter
now,
reading. Yeah.
if we were to do the whole system, we would know pretty
Gotcha.
much, same day, because it collects data every hour.
Right.
And it'll report once a day. So within 24 hours,
So
you would know.
we'll know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
15% of our residents have these things, and we really can't take advantage of them.
We're not utilizing the technology
Yeah.
yet. Correct. So
We can take a laptop over there and download at a specific site.
Mhm.
to-
and we've used
to
that
gather-
numerous
To
times.
gather the data, and we've
Okay.
done that, numerous times when a resident's like, oh my gosh,
I
Okay.
did
There's no
not
way.
use the water.
that I used all that water. Well, we can actually see the times as an example, like when their irrigation kicks on and how much water they're using, but we have to
You have to
physically
go there, yeah. So this,
Dear sir or madam, we noticed you watered your yard last night, and this is not your day to water. Please find the fine attached. Have a nice day.
I'm not doing that.
Sincerely, Fern Bluff, board of directors.
Wow.
so really, we need that backbone, the infrastructure put in place. And for less than what it's going to cost us for a truck, we can get it done.
Yes.
Just the backbone. So
This is what we've got to have to test this to see, is this a system that we believe in and want to install in our district? And it may take us a couple of years to do the complete installation.
Right.
Whatever, but we got to have.
the infrastructure.
A guinea pig.
Hector, nor I, nor Jeremiah are comfortable just, this is what we're gonna do.
Gotcha.
We just wanna prove it
Yeah,
out.
you want a test bed. You want to be able to
That's
say,
Mhm.
we've chosen the right product set
That's
for
right.
our customers, which is
So-
a good thing.
So here's the humdinger.
Uh-oh.
The humdinger is we'll have the gateway in place. That gateway will allow us to put in pressure sensors, all these IoT items, all the
Right,
sensors,
right.
without any major expense. Once we get radios in there, the cost of the radios is $125, and
You're talking about the radios
they go in the meters
meters.
or on the
The
meter.
gateway
yes.
has already got a radio,
Yes.
the receiver.
So,
on it,
and I put it in that memo. Basically, the system is you've got a meter, you've got a radio, which transmits the information. Then you've got the receiver, which is the gateway. So those three components are part of that system.
Mhm.
The other portion of that is receiving the data putting it into our billing system, billing out, and having access to that flow information, leaks,
Oh, yeah. well,
whatever. So like, my thought was let's put in some small steps and get the gateway in there, and then we can add on to that. And then whenever the board says, you know what, this is a great idea, let's go put some meters or some radios in, the infrastructure is already in place.
So one gateway sufficient for the entire area of the district?
We
Or
have
what's the
actually
range on these things?
we have tested a gateway of a little bit lesser quality. The Gen 2, Gen 3 system is already out. But yeah, we've tested it, and they've come out to 100%. And this is, we put the radio on top of the water tower, and it reads all the way to the end of Corbin Creek, so in Oak Brook. So it's been pretty reliable.
So the real value proposition here, the payback comes from somewhat labor and ease of monitoring, span control. And then by controlling, cutting, and being able to detect waste, to prevent that slack loss.
Mhm, mhm.
Okay.
And real-time
Yeah.
feedback to the customer.
And right now, like I said,
So there's not a dollar to that though.
yeah, it's hard.
That's a nice.
Well,
Yeah, I was trying to.
Well-
Dollar
Yeah,
value,
you're
that's where I was
thinking-
trying to go. Yeah.
No, you're absolutely right, Rick.
And initially, when we started talking about this, the conversation was, we're pretty tight on water loss. So I mean, we don't lose 20% of our water, stuff like that. It's yeah, we have fluctuations. I call that noise. Month to month. We read early, Round Rock reads late, and then just the time it takes to read the meter. So there's some offsets. Noise in during the months, but at the end of the year, our water loss is pretty tight. So we knew going in that was going to be a hard sell, because that's usually when you do AMI, their biggest sales point is, man, we're going to bring down your water loss, because you can measure more accurately, blah 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 blah.
You know when something happens, you can
Yeah.
respond right
Yeah.
away.
So part of the big part of the conversation was, okay, our residents will have access to notifications if they have a leak at home. They can see their own account online, that kind of stuff. So it was more of a benefit to the customer, not so much us. But with this backbone, having the ability to add sensors, pressure sensors in cul-de-sacs and stuff like that, or strategic locations throughout the district, we'll have a pressure plane, and if one of these sensors is saying, pressure's dropping like crazy, then we get a notification. It's like, okay, we're on alert. Let's go look for a water leak. So, there's advantages to just having the backbone initially, and then kind of just ease into a metering system.
So maybe it's a bit of an insurance policy, if you will, in an aging system where when you have one of those leaks, you don't you dig up 14 roads
Mhm.
over the span of a day or
Right.
sorry, a month or multiple weeks trying to figure out.
Right. And there is technology out there to locate these leaks, but I mean, we have strategic locations, and it's an operations tool. If we have pressure sensors in strategic locations, then at least we have an idea of don't go looking in Oak Brook, let's go look in Stone Canyon. So there's definitely advantages to having that technology available to us.
I do know that this is something that Hector's been reviewing for years.
Yes.
Walking into his office and seeing a meter there and trying maybe 10 at a time or something. And so this has been years in the making.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'd like to make a motion, if I may, that we approve up to $30,000 for the initial gateway system proposal that Hector's provided.
Which includes the meter
Yes.
in that
Yeah.
30,000.
Right.
Okay.
I'd second that. I've been
Motion by Director Horton, second by Smith to approve the gateway.
Just
cost
pump-
One
in the
more
pump
quick thing,
station.
if I may add, just so Zach doesn't get mad at me. All these systems are buy board.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going through buy board, so the expenditure is it comes with the buy board discounts and stuff like that. So just want to make sure that we're all above playing and stuff. So
Well, it's documented here. Good job.
It's in the memo too. So,
thank you.
I just want to make sure something. So you said the meters that as we build the system out, they're kind of ultrasonic, no moving parts. So what I'm hearing, and I want to make sure of this, is that this doesn't give anyone the remote capability to shut off someone's water to their house, either
Not at all.
intentionally because they didn't pay their bill, or a hacker coming in through the Internet of Things,
Yeah.
to do this. So this has no capability for that.
It's pretty much a collector of data.
Read only
Mhm.
type system. Okay, I just wanted to
Yes, sir.
articulate that, make sure that's what we're.
Yeah, and I mean, we practice, cybersecurity, all this
Right,
stuff
right.
a lot. And just for the benefit of the public and the board, I mean, we do have an air gap system with our telemetry. So somebody can hack into our system, but all they're gonna see is, okay, we've got 80 pounds of pressure coming into our system. The pumps are turning off and on. I mean, they can see what's going on. They can't control anything. So
These are just sensors. They're not controls.
Yep.
They're just sensors, just like the
No
existing
valve.
mechanical meters. It's just a
Mhm.
sensor. It measures
Yeah.
water going through it. Doesn't have capability to control
Yeah.
or change the way water's moving.
Perfect. Thank you for clarifying that.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate that. Any other comment?
I do have a brief comment to this, and a lot of the questions I had was, what's the value proposition and what's payback?
Mhm.
And it sounds like, on the surface, it sounds like it might be a losing value proposition over the long term. But I kept coming back to, in the age of water becoming more scarce, we had a presentation a couple months ago. I think it's the district's responsibility to be as responsive as possible and pay as much attention as possible to and sensitive to water loss and conservation of the valued resource in the district. So that's what kind of threw me over the edge towards the initial motion. I just want to share that with the board in case there are directors who are still on the fence.
Excellent. Thank you, Director Horton. Okay. All in favor of the motion to obtain the gateway backbone and the pump station equipment? Motion carries 5-0.
My apologies. Who was the second?
Smith, Director Smith. Motion by Director Horton, second by Director Smith.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Man, we're using Blackboard for everything. It's great.
It's a great tool.
Great resource.
It's a great resource.
It's super great, especially for schools and small governments like us,
Mhm.
super great.
Yeah, that's fabulous. Okay, anything else, General Manager, operations wise?
No, I think I probably said enough.
Between parks and gateways, this month has just gone poof. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Every time you say something, we spend more money. You're killing
Okay.
us.
We're operating so well.
It's really exciting to see this happen after all of this time.
Oh,
Really?
can
Because,
I make
I
a
mean,
quick comment?
There were meters that were inferior, that
Yes.
just,
Yes.
and you so thoroughly,
Yeah. I won't mention by name, but the meters that we had, or that we're pulling out of the ground right now, their quality has just gotten terrible. Very, very bad.
So good.
I used to swear by them. Now it's like,
So you're talking about replacing like for like, not the ones that are in the ground that are already wearing out.
yeah. I mean,
Right, yeah.
the ones that are in the ground are mechanical. They have like a little
Right.
mutating disc in there.
Dictating flow meter.
No, but I think your
Terrible.
reference was to, if I put a new one in that's the same as the old one, if the quality's not as good. Is that what I heard?
Yeah. Yep.
So
But
For
the,
this
the,
maker.
the comment I wanted to make though is that we've been running pretty lean on our operations budget for distribution repairs and stuff like that. That we have a surplus that'll actually pay for this portion of it. So it's not going to be above and beyond our budget. We'll be right within budget. So
nice.
that's just
Good work.
another added plus.
Good work. I like being in the black.
Yeah,
Budgets.
we do too, most definitely. So thank you
Very
guys.
cool.
Appreciate it.
And 10 points to Mr. Alanis for using the word mutating in a director's meeting.
The bane of my existence.
All right, let's move to the next item. Roads Committee. We have anything roads to add tonight?
I do not, we do not have an update on the Wyoming Springs extension. As y'all know, I'm sure you've seen the electrical people down here, they're still working down there, but I do not have any new information.
I'll tell you, they're tearing up Sutter Creek right now to, take care of that Brushy Creek mud project. So they've got flaggers out there. It's down one way, like between 9 and 3, basically, roughly. So I think they try and do it in between the school bus runs,
I think that's exactly right.
which
I
is a
think
smart
that-
idea.
Yeah, very good.
They missed the elevation mark with that sewer line coming up to our water line.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, and between a couple of AA operators, we're like, not going to happen. So they're having to lower their manholes and do stuff to make sure that our line is not affected. So.
Yeah, you heard they cut the Spectrum line.
Oh yeah, I did.
Oops.
And it's really kind of sad because they do call outs there. Spectrum should have come out.
And marked the
And they just won't.
lines.
They
Yeah.
don't.
Well, then that's there. Then they were there for
Oh,
8
yeah.
hours trying to fix it, I think, or
That-
reattach
that's
the lines.
exactly right.
Yeah.
I wasn't affected because I
You
don't
mark
have
your
them,
stuff. It's gonna get hit.
That's exactly, yeah.
All right. Next item. Let's move to budget committee. Director Barnes, do you have anything for budget?
No, I just know that we just finished spending a whole lot of money out of the budget.
We did.
Oh, yeah,
But
But
it's
it's
nothing other than that.
just the park, and that's coming out of a certain fund, right?
Parks,
It's all stuff that's been planned, though.
Yeah.
It's growth we've planned for.
So I got a quick question on this manager account, just a quick one. You had a Cohons, I don't know, page 7 on I think it's the second page of the manager's accounts. Oh, maybe it's the third. Or maybe it's, yeah.
Are you in your packet?
He's in 5 in the packet.
No.
He's on
Yeah.
5 in the packet.
Yeah, it's just before the text pull yeah.
Okay,
So the third one above, the sale and Cohun's, I don't have these glasses suck. Safe and lock for $2,000. What was that for?
Conference. That was the replacement handles for the parks.
Oh,
All
okay.
key to like. I mean, right now we've got, is it Oakbrook Park, the men's restroom. That one, if you pull hard enough,
It just opens.
it just opens.
Okay. Gotcha.
So
our
Okay.
handles have worn out
Okay,
and we're needing to replace most of them.
that's fine.
Between vandalism and just wear and tear.
Okay.
Yeah.
When I see things that I haven't seen before, that's
Nope,
just
absolutely.
I'm curious. That's all.
Absolutely.
Okay, I think that was it.
Way to go, Mr. Holmes.
Ooh, I forgot my pipe.
Yeah.
Next item, District Community Center Committee. Any news?
We're good.
Good there?
We're already getting pretty booked for the holidays.
There
Of
you
course,
go.
it's September, so there we go.
All right. Deed Restriction Committee, Director.
Quiet on the western front.
Wow,
Yeah,
All quiet?
yeah.
it's got to be that red
We have
shirt.
had no ACC requests in months. And I think that is
And no violation.
a direct result of the economy.
Maybe.
Hmm.
We have some violations. Sage is working on them or reaching out to people where we can.
Nothing that's risen up to the level, though.
No, I probably have 2 of them we'll need to talk to the board about next month, but nothing. We made it through the summer.
Very good. All right. Security Committee. Director Barnes, you have anything?
I think Mario summed that one up.
Have more to go.
Communications, Director Smith.
Yeah, I think, Janie, do you want to explain the newsletter that's going to go out? I drafted a newsletter with
And
several,
then we just keep adding things to it.
Yeah, we've added a few
Yeah,
things.
I don't know. We're gonna try to get the newsletter out this week, or if not, then first part of next week for our October newsletter. And we've got a lot of topics we're gonna try to hit.
right. I think a lot of them we talked about last time, which was the backflow,
The what?
the backflow device
yeah.
requirements for inspections. We talked about the garbage
Garbage.
schedules. I asked her to add, the styrofoam recycling, which people should know about, as well as the hazardous waste. Now, we still have to have vouchers for that, right?
Yes,
Right,
Yes,
so we wanted to
yeah,
add that because people have on Facebook saying, hey, how do I get rid of this, that, and the other thing? And so I put that out on our Facebook group. Hey, here's the link to our website
Go to the website.
that talks
There we
about
go.
hazardous waste and the vouchers. But I think it'd be nice to remind folks that's available.
I agree. We've got a lot of new people. Absolutely.
So sounds like we'll have a newsletter out this week or next.
Just a thought. Perhaps, I know you're going to address the tree in Brightwater specifically. Perhaps it's worth a general announcement
Statement.
about that and like being careful of the trees in your yard and maybe thinking about ongoing damage. Because now that I'm hearing that, I'm like, oh my gosh. I mean, I can't believe how much work I've done on my trees. But now I'm wondering, do I need to check for things like cracks in limbs that we didn't realize were
that you climb
damaged? Pardon?
That you climb on.
I don't climb on them anymore. They're about 30 feet off the ground.
Well, and
I
there,
could.
no, that, I think that's a really good idea. You don't know, and in most cases, people's yards, you know, in their own home, they see, you know, a limb that is down the same way we do in ours. But again, probably no one's climbing their trees. But telling them you should probably be cautious if you haven't checked out your limbs, because we're still seeing damage from the ice storm. Not a bad idea.
I mean, I just had an arborist / company come trim my trees. Sure enough, didn't they find one that was crossed like this and was ruining, you know, so I had to have that taken out. But, you know, I mean, it's good to highlight this, you know, there's expense involved, you know, so folks have to fess up to that if they want to.
Yeah,
Be
and we
safe.
do care about the community.
Yeah.
You
So
know,
I think that's fair if you.
Absolutely. I doubt any tree in any of our yards ever get the climbing that one at Brightwater did. I mean, you just walked up there and it begged you, even as an adult, to go climb that tree. I mean, and I get it. I truly get it.
I
But we're
have
gonna
been
have a
known
new
to sit on that
playscape, so
branch.
hopefully it'll be a little bit
Yeah.
easier. I'm sorry.
I said, I've been known to sit on that branch.
Exactly. I'll be perfectly honest with you, what hit my mind when I was just going, oh my gosh, what I do. I have a 10-year-old and a 7-year-old, 2 granddaughters, okay? Josiah climbing on a branch, and that's the one that breaks, and Zoe's underneath. It just freaked me out. Because they're at Brightwater Park all the time, okay? But that's what would happen. It would be somebody here, and then what happens when either they'll hit the ground, or what if someone's underneath them? It just wasn't worth the risk.
Wait, what? They're 10 and 7?
Did you prepare
10 and
yourself?
7, I know.
Did you prepare yourself for the, Grandma, what happened to the tree? Why aren't the
Oh.
branches there anymore?
I
had to cut them down. I'm gonna kill the tree.
Well,
See, it climbs a little bit bigger challenge now.
we had to take.
I'm sorry, guys.
Oh, I know
Say
that
we
tree
had
in
to
your
take
yard.
That huge ash tree out of our yard that the kids' swing and everything was on because of that damage, and it damaged that limb. So that's a good thing.
Yeah.
It may be a 5-page newsletter. I don't know. We'll just have to see
But-
what happens.
If it's valuable news, yeah.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
True.
Man, after listening to Rich, it's like I wonder if Janie's grandkids are calling her Chainsaw Janie.
Mike, they call me Nanny. Thank you very much.
Chainsaw Nanny.
Right.
You're right. They blamed Papa for the tree in our yard. They're gonna blame me for this one. I can already hear it.
Oh, boy. I'm sorry.
When are they coming?
I know.
I'm sorry. Thank you for taking one for the team. I know it wasn't easy to do.
You're welcome.
See, now I feel like a hatchet man.
I know.
Oh, good call.
Oh
Oh,
my gosh.
Nice.
Okay, let's move off of trees again.
All
Please.
right, let's branch out from the trees. All right, attorney's
you
report.
can't use the same pun twice. Come on.
You caught me.
Let's go down a limb and try something new, would you?
Counting on you to get to the root of the matter.
There we go. All right. And
All right, nothing new to report. All right, confirm next meeting date, October 22nd.
I will not be here.
You will not be here. That's one. We still have a
Or
quorum.
Valley or Tahiti.
No, I'll be in the middle of the Atlantic.
What?
I'll be in the middle of the Atlantic on my way back from Europe on a
Ah,
boat.
just another boring trip. Okay.
Mr. President, do you want to look at November and December since we're
Oh, that's
already
a
at the
good
holiday
idea.
season?
Yeah, let's,
Y'all meet pretty darn close to the
holidays, yeah.
typical big holidays.
Well,
Okay.
that's cool.
So the November meeting would be 2 days before Thanksgiving.
That's probably
Let's
correct.
see, I think that's right.
Is that going to be an issue for
Yeah, I'll be gone.
more than a couple of us? Or nothing?
I will be here, as far as I know.
I'll be, where will I be? I'll be in
Could you change
California.
it to the third week of November, Zach?
19th.
I can tentatively do the 19th.
The
Yes.
19th?
Yes, ma'am.
Let's do that.
November 19th,
Uh,
okay. I'll check the center calendar and we'll verify all that.
Okay.
And then December.
Oh, shoot, I'm looking at the wrong month.
Well, we don't want to
Oh.
meet on Christmas Eve, I'm sure.
Yeah. I don't have that third Tuesday open in December, unfortunately. Another client that's already snagged that date.
What about the 19th, the Thursday?
I can't do that one
Can
either.
do that?
I don't want y'all to not meet due to my availability.
Well, I won't be here on the 19th either that week. Won't be around. No, you're talking November, right?
December.
But we're in
December.
Now we're in
now,
December.
yeah.
I'm a month behind.
I've got
What?
meetings the 16th, 17th, 18th of that month,
I
and
should
the
be around.
19th. The week
Well-
prior,
What about the week
We've
prior to
also
the
not
10th?
had a December meeting before. Because we're doing it, our meeting is gonna be quite late in November.
Yeah.
We can pre-approve payment of bills and invoices and we can just skip our December meeting.
do y'all want to just tentatively, just so there's something on the calendar and something for the minutes, schedule it for, which is say the 10th. It's the second Tuesday, just say, and then when we get closer in November, if y'all still feel the same, go ahead and cancel
Then
it.
just cancel it.
If you want to
Are
do
y'all
that,
good with that?
just so there's something on the
What,
books.
what was the November date you guys are gonna,
November 19th.
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 And then the 19th.
okay, and that's the one I think I said
I think you said you're not gonna be here.
I'll be traveling.
So December 10th, tentative.
We'll probably cancel that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, we never have much on our December agenda anyway. And if we have any more park things to approve, I'll just try to push and get them at our November meeting. So, okay.
All right.
That's a good idea. Thank you for that, Zach. I
Yes,
should've
ma'am.
thought that.
All right. Future agenda items, just future park proposals will be coming on the playground stuff, but maybe not next meeting. But at some point.
I'll have at least one more park in October, and I may have two.
Oh, okay. So you will have something. Okay. All right. If that's it.
Sounded like it's gonna take forever, but
Once we got the what do you call it? The feel of
Yeah.
what we wanted in our parks, it was easy. Don't y'all think to go and pick out the different, when we knew the ones that we really liked, like I really wanted an oodle, you really wanted a global motion. It's just trying to find them, but I think Olson's gonna be the hardest. I want everything down there, but I don't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, it's big space.
It's a big space, but
And it does get lots of visitors.
All right. That's it for our business. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
motion.
Motion to adjourn by
Second.
Director Stemko, second by Smith. All in favor?
Yeah.
I'm Horton.
Oh, it was Horton. I'm sorry.
I was like a ventriloquist
Sorry.
there.
My apologies. Second.
And November
Okay.
19th is open.
All in favor?
for the Senate. Okay, so the number-
Motion carries 5-0. The time is 7:26 and this meeting is adjourned.
Yay.
Thank y'all very much.
What do you call it? Pep in my step.
This is the last month of this fiscal
Are you
year,
sleeping?
guys.
No. No.
Somehow you learned to cope with it.
Bye.
So tired, I can't see straight. I was telling my mom, I have not been this tired since Marine Corps combat training. I'm not exaggerating.
And is she
Only-
really
only
happy
difference is
about
there's
it?
no gunfire, which is, you know.
Well, the
there's
other-
diaper changing and